Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Randana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Brajadana Randana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada, Gaur Pimanandi Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Gacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shirabai Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Skandi Biti Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai, Transcendental Buddhist Tradition Ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki, Jai Shri Krishna Balarama ki, Jai Shri Giri Govardhana ki, Jai Gaura Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada ki.
Jai Sridham Prabhupada ki Jai.
Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksurandiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Darita Sri Visakanditam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Dharam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and a loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, whose praise with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Visreya Sayalokasya Dhanyam Swasayanam Maha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Surabhyaya Namaha Om Surabhyaya Namaha Om Surabhyaya Namaha Mukam karoti bhatamam pagum lagayate girim Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to our Bhagavatam class, continuing from Canto number 1, a new chapter just starting, chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. Today text number 2. Yes. Sa Uchakashe Davalodaro Daro Api Urukramasya Darashona Shonima Dadmayamanaha Kara Kanja Sampute Yathabja Khande Kala Hamsa Utsvanaha Sa Uchakashe Davalo Daro Purukramasya Dharashona Shonima Dadmayamana Karakanja Sampute Yathabja Khande Kalahamsa Utsvanaha Sa Uchakashe Dhavalo Daro Purukramasya Dharashona Shonima Dadmayamana Karakanja Sampute Kathabja Khande Kalahamsa Utsvanaha Sa Uchakashe Davalo Daro Purukramasya Dharashona Shonima Dadmayamana Karakanja Sampute Yathabja Khande Kalahamsa Utsvanaha Sa Uchakashe Davalo Daro Purukramasya Darashona Shonima Dadmayamana karakanja sampute Kathabja khande kalaamsa utsvanaha
Sauchakashe dhabalo daro daro
Sauchakashe dabalo daro daro
Pi urukramasya dharasho nasho nima
Yurukramasya darasona sonima
Dadmaya manaskara kanja sampute
Dadmayamana karakanja sampute
Athabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha
Yathabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha
Sauchakase davalo daro daro
Sauchakashe dabalo daro daro
Yuru kramayasya darasho nasho nima
Yurukramasya dharasona sonima
Dadyamana karakunja sampute
Dadmayamana karakanja sampute
Yathabja khande kalahansa usvana
Yathabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha
Sauchakase dhavalo daro daro
Sauchakashe dabalo daro daro
Yurukramasya dharsona somina
Yurukramasya dharasona sonima
Dadmaya mana karakanja sampute
Dadmayamana karakanja sampute
Yathabja khande kalahansa utsvanaha
Yathabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha
Sauchakase davalu daru daru
Sauchakashe dabalo daro daro
Yurukramasya darasona sonima
Yurukramasya dharasona sonima
Maya mana karakanja sampute
Dadmayamana karakanja sampute
Yathabja khande kalahamsa usvana
Yathabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha
Sauchakase davalo daro daro
Sauchakashe dabalo daro daro
Apirukramasya darasho nasho nima
Yurukramasya dharasona sonima
Ramaya manah karakanja sampute
Dadmayamana karakanja sampute
Yadhabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha
Yathabja khande kalahamsa utsvanaha Saha That Uchakashe Become brilliant Dabala udaraha White and fat boweled Daraha Conchal Api Although it is so Urukramasya of the great adventurer Adharashona by the transcendental quality of his lips Shonima reddened Dadmayamanaha being sounded Karakanja sampute being caught by the grip of the lotus hand Yatha as it is Abjakande by the stems of lotus flowers Kalahamshaha ducking swan Utsvanaha loudly sounding Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sridham Prabhupada ki. The white and fat-boweled conch shell being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna and sounded by him appeared to be reddened by the touch of his transcendental lips. It seemed that a white swan was playing in the stems of red lotus flowers. Can you repeat after me? The white and fat-bowled conch-shell,
The white and red bowls of counsel,
being gripped
being gripped
by the hand of Lord Krishna
by the hand of Lord Krishna
and sounded by him,
and sounded by him,
appeared to be reddened
appeared to be reddened
by the touch
by the touch
of his transcendental lips.
of his transcendental lips.
It seemed
It seemed
that a white swan
that a white swan
was playing in the stems
was playing in the stems
of red lotus flowers.
of red lotus flowers.
Purport. The redness of the white conch shell, due to the lip touch of the Lord, is a symbol of spiritual significance. The Lord is all spirit, and matter is ignorance of this spiritual existence. Factually, there is nothing like matter in spiritual enlightenment. And this spiritual enlightenment takes place at once by the contact of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord is present in every particle of all existence, and he can manifest his presence in anyone. By ardent love and devotional service to the Lord, or in other words, by spiritual contact with the Lord, everything becomes spiritually reddened, like the conch shell in the grip of the Lord. And the Paramahamsa, or the supremely intelligent person, plays the part of the ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of the Lord's feet. Translation again. The white and fat-bowled conch shell, being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna and sounded by him, appeared to be reddened by the touch of his transcendental lips. It seemed that a white swan was playing in the stems of red lotus flowers. Welcome to our friends from Basarat area. Hare Krishna. Pleasant surprise on a Monday morning. So we are just beginning this chapter entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarka. Lord Krishna, as we were mentioning yesterday, was away from Dwarka for some time due to some important business in Kurukshetra. And naturally, it was described how the Lord, when he descends to perform his pastimes in the material world, he brings with him his eternal associates. And the eternal associates of the Lord are eternally associated with him in the spiritual world. But when he comes in the material world, sometimes these eternal associates of the Lord become separated because the Lord has to go out of Dwarka. And he can't bring everyone. He only brings his army if he has to fight with some enemy. So the rest of the Lord's associates in Dwarka, they remain in Dwarka, feeling intense separation from the Lord. So here, the Lord is returning to Dwarka, and before entering, he holds his conch shell, which is called?
Sun.
Hey.
I think.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Shanka means conch shell in Sanskrit. And Pancha? Yes. And when he sounds this conch shell, of course, the citizens in the city of Dwarka, they hear this transcendental conch shell, and it's very nice kind of poetic description, both in the text and also in the purport, which is describing how although conch shell is material, but anything, whether it's a conch shell or any object or any person's, anything which comes in contact with Krishna becomes spiritualized, isn't it? Prabhupada would, in the early days, he would use the word Krishnized. Krishnized. Everything becomes Krishnized, just like that rod that we put in the fire and keep in the fire for a long time. That rod becomes fire. It acts like fire. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains how for those who are transcendentalists, the Paramahamsas, they see only Krishna. They don't see matter. For them, there is no material world. For them, there is no material world because they see Krishna present everywhere. And actually, for all of us, this is what is meant to happen. Anyone who takes up the process of bhakti, devotional service, by proper application of devotional service, one is meant to revive, isn't it? To revive that original transcendental spiritual consciousness. And the example of the swan is given. Did you ever look at a swan? A live swan?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. The swans, they go around the stem of the lotus flower. The lotus flower is floating on top of the water, unaffected actually, and the swan is enjoying. You know, swans, they are looking always for clean, pure waters. The swans, they don't mix with the crows. The crows are black. The swans are white. The swans, they like clean places. The crows, they'll come to your garbage place. That example is there in the Bhagavatam, that we should be swan-like persons.
Yes.
Devotee means swan-like individual. Means he is in his natural environment, which is clean waters. He enjoys swimming in the water. He enjoys going around the stem of the lotus flowers. So it means that actually when we come in contact, when we revive our original spiritual transcendental consciousness, like Krishna explains in the 9th chapter, cultivating this Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. It is very confidential knowledge. It is not accessible to ordinary people. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram. It is pure. So like the swan. Some birds are coming. Where are they going? Going south. What are those? Ducks. They look like ducks. Not ducks, then? It's not a swan. Well, anyways, when we we are meant to, yes, when we come in contact with this knowledge, when we cultivate this knowledge, by attending Bhagavatam class, we cultivate this knowledge. By attending Bhagavatam class with full attention, being alert, conscious, being awake, then we can begin to enter. Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitram Iram Uttamam. It is the highest knowledge. And then, like the swan, who is very, because he is in his natural environment, he's enjoying. I always, not always, but sometimes, mention this particular interview that Srila Prabhupada had. Prabhupada had many interviews. Many people ask him so many questions. Sometimes good questions, sometimes crazy questions. Whether it was a good question or a bad question, Prabhupada always had the perfect answer. So one time a reporter, he asked Prabhupada, what is the goal of life? Good question. What did Prabhupada answer? No. I mean, of course, that is the goal of life. But what did Prabhupada answer? He caught the reporter by surprise, actually, by his answer. Prabhupada answered, the goal of life is to enjoy. He was very happy. Because actually most people, that is, they are in the enjoying mood. But the enjoying mood separate from Krishna. That is, so-called material enjoying mood is a cause of our suffering. The more we so-called enjoy materially, we increase our suffering in the material world because we create karma. Because the more we enjoy materially, the more we become disqualified to actually establish our relationship with Krishna. Yeah. Because we are increasing our forgetfulness of Krishna. Isn't it? The more we are materially absorbed in material activities, material thoughts, material planning, etc., which is the consciousness of the vast majority of people, then this is a disqualification. That's why in the Vedic culture, we learn to minimize our material necessities of life, minimize our our material enjoyment, because actually not only minimize, but we're meant to put an end to our material enjoyment. Hare Krishna. Material sound is a distraction, especially in the Bhagavatam class. So that's why Srila Prabhupada also, he mentioned that the more we, just like in today's modern society, which is, there are many very intelligent people, but they are misusing their intelligence by creating all kinds of material gadgets and material situations for material enjoyment, etc. So that verse actually, which Krishna spoke in the 9.2. Susukam, that's the point I wanted to come to. When we are cultivating this knowledge, this topmost knowledge, Raja Vidya, the king of all knowledge, which is most confidential, which is the purest knowledge, which is the highest knowledge. Then susukam kartam avyayam. Like the swan, again, like the example given here, the swan is kind of like in a blissful state of mind. So the Paramahamsa, therefore, Prabhupada mentions, those who are on that level of pure devotional service, the Paramahamsas, they are in the material world, but they are not affected by the material world. They're on a different level. They are transcending, actually, which is ultimately where we need to come, because only those who transcend the three modes of material nature can actually become qualified to enter into the spiritual world. But we can begin to enter in the spiritual world even while being in the material world. Isn't it? The residents of Vrindavan, they're living in the spiritual world. But not only the residents of Vrindavan, anyone who practices pure devotional service is already living. See, that's why those who don't cultivate this knowledge, when the critical moment of leaving the body comes, they're not ready because they're attached to the body. Whereas someone who has cultivated for many years this consciousness, then for him the transition is like simple, because one is already on that transcendental level or transcendental consciousness. So this point is being nicely, poetically, made and described here by Srila Prabhupada. By ardent love and devotional service to the Lord, or in other words, by spiritual contact with the Lord, everything becomes spiritually reddened, like the conch shell in the grip of the Lord. Actually, conch shells are naturally, what is it? Pink.
Yes.
Some line of
Yes.
pink color is there.
Yes.
Yeah. And Prabhupada, how does he compare the Paramahamsas here? Very interesting. In the purport, Prabhupada he describes the Paramahamsas as being supremely intelligent persons. Yes. Real intelligence means to come to that transcendental platform. So, the Paramahamsa, or the supremely intelligent person, plays a part of the ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss. Nice. Plays a part of the ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss. So, like the swan who is enjoying himself in ordinary water, going around the stem of the lotus flower. So the transcendentalists, they are meant to be, all of us actually are meant to come ultimately to that stage of, although being in the material world, which is dukkalayam sasvatam, a place of misery, temporary place. But for the transcendentalist, he is constantly in transcendental happiness, transcendental bliss. That's why it is said that a devotee means someone who is, it starts with H.
Yes.
What is H? Devotee means somebody who is happy. Yeah. What is the feature of those who are karmis? Materialistic persons are generally unhappy. Isn't it? They're full of anxiety, they don't know who they are, they don't know where they're going, etc. So that's why we're sitting in the Bhagavatam class this morning. We know that this knowledge that is given in the Bhagavatam, this knowledge that is given by Krishna's pure devotees, by the acharyas, is meant to help us become properly situated. That is the feature of someone even in the mode of goodness. Someone in the mode of goodness, he brahmabhuta prasanatma na sochati na kansati. No material anxiety, no material hankering. Simply to know that we are not this body. That is Brahmabhuta platform. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman in nature. Whenever I think about this simple statement, Aham Brahmasmi, I'm reminded of in Canada and the US. Every year during the summer, there is what is called the Festival of India. They've been doing it for maybe 30 years. They go from big city to big city, and they choose, the dates are chosen because it's only in the summer where the weather is good and it's warm and people are in a happy mood. So it's called the Festival of India. They make big pandal, they have all kinds of information booths, and especially main feature, big feature is prasadam. Everyone loves to eat good food, and Hare Krishna people make good food. So they have different stalls, different themes, and one theme is called changing body. In the Bhagavad Gita, Dehi nosminita dehe komaram jovanam. So there's that very nice depicting from we're born, then we changing body, and so that nice picture is there changing body. Most people they don't see that body. I mean, they don't, and there's an explanation, So there were these two very fat ladies. They happened to be walking around, and they stopped at this changing body diorama, and they both were looking and reading. And then they looked at each other, and they said, "Hey, we're not this body." In America, they have what they call weight clubs, weight control clubs, something. People, they join clubs if they have a problem with being what is called obese. Obesity is a nicer word than fat, I guess. The major problem in the world today, people, because they don't eat properly, they don't live properly, they become overweight. Major problem. So simply by seeing this diorama and understanding we are actually the spirit soul, they became very happy. So actually that is the beginning of transcendence. Aham Brahmasmi. But that is not the culmination. The culmination, the topmost level of Aham Brahmasmi is to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and to actually establish, re-establish, reawaken. Very important word. Reawaken our dormant. relationship with Krishna, isn't it? And we do that. Well, how do we do that? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridhavrata. With great dridha, with great determination, engaging in ultimately in activities of devotional service, especially the chanting of the holy name. Yeah, that's why we chant the holy name. So it means we have to become, in many ways, we have to become like karmis. What's the special feature of materialistic people? They're totally absorbed in materialistic thoughts and activities. So we have to do the opposite, but the same kind of, we also have to become absorbed, totally absorbed in spiritual activities. We have to be absorbed in our service. We have to be absorbed in preaching, helping in some way or other the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the preaching mission of our Vaishnavacharyas. If we don't become absorbed in those activities, we'll become absorbed in the other. If we don't absorb ourselves in spirit, we'll become absorbed in matter, isn't it? If we're not under the Daivi Prakriti, we become under the Mohini Prakriti. Mohini Prakriti, yeah. Moga Shamaga Karmano, Moga Jnana Vichetasa, Rakshasim Asurima Chaiva, Mohinim Prakritim Asritaha. So these are the two. And it's only when we take that up very seriously, then we can begin to differentiate what is to be done and what is not to be done. What is that called? What is that verse? What is to be done and what is not to be done. Pravritim cha, nivritim cha. Pravritim, there's two paths. Pravriti marga and nivriti marga. Pravritim cha, nivritim cha, janana vidur asura. Those who don't know the difference, they are classified as asura. Nobody wants to be classified as asura. Prakritim cha, nivritim cha, janana vidur asura, na socham na pichacharo, na satyam teshu vidyate. Na socham means unclean. If we are not clean in our dress, in our living, in whatever we do, then that's a symptom of asuric mentality. Na socham napi chacharo, achara. We're talking about achara, achar, prasar, achar. Not good behavior. We can't interact nicely with even devotees. And nasatyam teshu vidyate. Nasatyam. Satyam means truth. Yeah. We cannot also. So the characteristic of those who are not devotees is that they are generally unclean, don't have good behavior, they can't get along with other people, and they are untruthful also. Yes. So this is what is being conveyed here. Any questions on this? It all begins at Mangal Arati. If we miss Mangal Arati, you can tell that to your friends who are missing Mangal Arati. Then our day, there's good chances, very good chances, very, very good chances that our day will not be Mangala. Mangala means?
Auspicious.
Mangalarati. How to begin? We begin our day with auspiciousness. What is the most auspicious thing? Is to have darshan of Krishna.
Yes.
To remember Krishna. Yes. To chant the Lord's glories. hearing Bhagavatam, yes, the whole morning program, before the workers start coming. When the workers start coming, we know it's the end of the Bhagavatam class. So, any thoughts or questions? Your friends have any questions? Kono prashna ache? No question. Yes.
I heard from senior devotees that one of the qualities of Swan is also
One of the qualities of swan.
yes
Uh-huh.
that he separates the milk and water.
Yes.
When they got mixture of milk and water, they separate milk and take milk and water rest.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So just like Swan, Vaishnavas also taking good qualities from others.
Yes.
Because all are mixtures of bad and good. So
Yes.
therefore Vaishnavas are like taking good from everyone.
Yes. That means, yes, that's a very nice example, which is quoted as well. That is the special feature of the swan. So another similar comparison is Bhagavatam also speaks about developing the bee-like mentality as opposed to the fly mentality.
Yes.
What is fly mentality? Fly. Ever thought about a fly? What do flies do?
Bhakti.
Fly. What does fly do? If you have a sore, or if there's garbage somewhere, the flies will come.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
That's why we have to keep our place clean. If we don't keep our place clean, the flies will come. And where do the bees go?
Bees go to flower.
Yeah, they get the honey.
Yes.
You never see a bee going in the garbage place. Yeah. So yes, so we have to be like the swan, Also like the lotus flower. Lotus flower also is stemming from like mud.
Mud.
Yes.
But it is above. It is above the water. It's not affected by the mud. So devotees, we are in the mud of the material world. Material world is like, the world of Maya. But by bhakti, we are above. We are above. These are very nice examples. Swan example, bee and fly example, lotus flower. These are all examples that is given in Shastra that can help us understand what we should be doing. We should be developing those types of qualities. Yeah. Yes. So we can close for now. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Gauda Pimanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.